Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have the buffed VIEGO in a Master Tier Korean game versus a Lee Sin who is once more in the meta and very popular. Runes you would have seen, absolutely standard stuff, although thankfully no booties in Cosmic. Although you can go booties in Cosmic, just this is more interesting. So, what's changed? Well, now the passive on that Q can crit. They also added 2% to the AD ratio on his ultimate. Now back in 2021 they added those crit ratios. And when they nerfed his original healing passive all the way down from like 8 to 3%, I believe it was base. And basically since then I said, hey guys, Kraken Slayer, right? Kraken Slayer. And it was like this 6-month battle to get people to even think about building Kraken Slayer on the champion. And all of a sudden, now they're saying his passive on his Q, this can crit. And everyone's saying, Infinity Edge second. No, still not. But no matter what jungler you're playing, if you want to climb faster than 70% of junglers, I'm making a course for every single MMR. Silver is out and gold will be next to March 3rd. It will build directly on the silver course that came out before, so if you don't know those things, then obviously both are going to go hand in hand to helping you get to platinum. It should give you everything you need to know as a gold player to play off of what you're going to see in this video, what you see in these free coaching videos, and really take it to the next level. Apply it to your own game, get to platinum as soon as possible, within months instead of years as some people take. Get out of the casual zone, get into the top 10%, become a platinum jungler through the Virkayu to GG gold course, link below, out on March 3rd. Now remember, when they buff, as we cross by the way, blue side to red side 220, that's huge. Really good clear overall here. We get to Lee Sin. He's starting on the bottom side obviously, so we can be afraid of maybe a blue Wolves Grump as we see into the bottom lane gank. VIEGO typically will 5 camp. We want to be able to shadow this. So what he does is he cuts out the Raptors, goes straight to the red. And it looks like he might look to counter gank this and just keep an eye open for the Lee Sin's potential level 3. Obviously, this is the new meta with the nerfed kill experience and everything. And while I was looking down there, what we have here is a Lee Sin ward hopping over the back of the Dragon Pit to go to the bottom lane. So we didn't see that because I was clicking down here. But the VIEGO saw it immediately, right? Because he was dragging the red camp as he should be dragging it. Basically saying, look, junglers at this point, we all know things. Hopefully, we know things. And one of the things we know is that if the laner with the push prior on the bottom side has warded this, scanning it means they back up. Scanning it means we now have to waste more time in that gank. Ugh, who has time for that, right? So what we're doing a lot more is now we're going over these walls, either through flash, X-Flash, mobility, whatever, flanking around the back and getting off the gank. It's exactly what you're meant to do. If you don't know if it's warded and you don't have, that's great for red side. If you're blue side, you don't have that luxury. Yes, you can afford to scan, check, wait, and then go for the scuttle. So the VIEGO's thought process there of tracking the Lee Sin, anticipating this play, huge, right? Absolutely huge, because he's dragging, expecting it. That's the difference. Now, let's go back to our original VIEGO discussion. We have here the Galileo going in on the Talon. Let's just keep that. He flashes and gets taunted within tower range, and VIEGO says, all right, I'll show up and get that kill. So that's good. Also, the Talon had prior, right? So if we take the fight with Lee Sin instead of backing off, a Talon comes first, our bot lane has to give up pressure, but you don't want that. It's better just to not take the fight in that case. And of course, we get the gank here as well as the Raptor camp eventually. Now, we know Lee Sin's probably top side, top scuttle, top Krugs, ganking the top lane. The thing about adding crit and the AD ratio buff is, why is he down here? Oh, that is so random. So I had to go back and look because he's decided to cut back and try and contest the scuttle, which he knows is 99% down, and gank the bottom lane again. No one told him that the kill experience was nerfed and that, you know, you do get a lot more from being a reliably balanced jungler. So he just skips out on top side scuttle, skips out on everything else and just goes straight back to the bottom side. Let's see how that plays out because obviously the VIEGO's here. VIEGO's level 4, Lee Sin's level 3, everyone's low. VIEGO's going to shovel though. VIEGO's be careful here. There's a cannon wave. You might get hooked. Yeah, we're going to go in there. We're going to try and kill the Blitzcrank. We are not able to get him, and now we're stuck because we flashed. Yeah. That's not so good. That's not so good. So right there, the counter gank is all we needed. If they wanted to... Oh, that's not so good. Okay, so now we finally have time. So this was obviously random action by the Lee Sin. We responded. We had the level advantage. He overcommitted, and that caused his demise. However, he will carry this game. That's plus build. Now, talk about this in a whole approach. When you add AD ratios to things, more AD is good. So Kraken's better than, say, Shieldbug, correct? Because it has more AD, 15 more AD. However, when you say, here's this amplification of crit damage, people automatically go, so I need to build more crit, right? No, because if your kit already scales with crit, yeah, okay, and you add some more crit scaling, it doesn't mean you need to buy more crit. It means the crit that you have goes further. So the crit you have on the Kraken Slayer, if you buy nothing else, will now do more in isolation. You don't need to build Infinity Edge to make sure that you're getting the best out of the crit. If the crit you had before was going, say, 80%, it buffered, so now it's going 100%, well, great, that's 20% boost in the crit I was building. Why do I need to change anything else? And that's great logic. You don't. You can go straight into the Kraken, the Blade of the Rune King. You can do your DD, your Wit's End. Obviously, Kraken Wit's End super good as well. Standard builds, you can do it. You don't need to build full crit. It's just saying the crit that you do have is going to go further. Additionally, though, when they say, hey, let's give you more AD ratio as well, when you think about it, you're like, well, AD ratio increase, crit utility increase, maybe actually having some more AD and crit in the kit would be good. Therefore, my friends, we sacrifice the Blade of the Rune King, and as such, we lose our lifesteal. So we say, well, we need lifesteal in our kit as an inherent thing that we like to build, and we're going to lose the AD from the shield bow. But the shield bow will give us survivability, will give us HP passive, but also gives us an AD passive as we build more items. So we'll negate some of that 15 AD loss from Kraken to shield blow. And obviously we get the crit. But now we're not getting the Sheen bonus from the Divine Sundra build. So we can build the Sheen crit item, Essence Reaver, and that's where you go. Essence Reaver, shield bow, Essence Reaver, and then you build the Infinity Edge. You maximize the crit scalings that you now have. You maximize the new AD ratios that you now have. You still have lifesteal in your kit. You have HP and survivability in your kit. That's the build that I'm seeing the most success in this patch at this current time. And I did a lot of pages, looked at a lot of pages, and I obviously saw the Blade of the Rune King, Kraken Slayer, Infinity Edge combos. You're gonna do that, it's better to go Kraken, IE, Kraken Blade, and then IE, go IE third, right? As we watch this occur, in the meantime, what happened in this game was, all right, look, I died here like an idiot. I know Lee Sin's gonna have to deal with these kinds of things, so I'm just gonna sequence top to bottom and wait for the counter game, because Lee Sin's tendency at this point is, well, I did a 3-camp gank bottom lane, it was thwarted, I go topside, and then I cut all the way down and gank again for no reason. And the Viego's like, well, that was really random. So he's obviously really obsessed with ganking the bottom lane. I can do a full sequence, anticipate he's going to do some second spawn camps and come to the bottom lane. Again, I'll just chill lane gank, counter gank. Beautifully done. Galio, because of our gank mid lane, now is prior to collapse with us, 4v2, 4v3 that. We get a whole bunch of kills. Well, our team does, we don't. We get assists. That's fine. And the nice thing about that shield bow is that you still get the Noon Quiver farming passive. It's great for the experience, it's great for the gold, it's just great in general. And now we are 6, he is 5. He is 41, we have 52. 2-1-3, 2-1-1. So the Lee Sin is fed because of our mistake, our overcommit. But let's see how this build comes together in a total solution. I don't think you're going to see very many shield bow Essence Reaver IE finishes, especially in high elo, because they're going to snowball so quickly with it. It's really strong and potent, and a little bit Rengar-esque if you understand that. Obviously, we don't go shield bow Rengar. We just go for the Dusk Blades and things like this. If we have Smite, we can go ahead and take that. I mean, okay, that's silly, Lee Sin. He's 6. Karma's rotating now. Talon's got pressure in the mid lane. Blitzcrank is level 4. The Galio's going to go in. We get the taunt. We get the stun. We get the auto Q. We get the dunk. 2+% AD ratios coming in giga with the missing HP pseudo execute basically on the Viego's ultimate. We shall become the Talon, and now we have ability to go into his jungle. We know his red's available. We saw him go down a little bit. Although does he cut in? Yes, he does, of course. I checked that just because I anticipate this from their perspective. If you're playing in your elo, you can kind of know that. See, that's good. So what I'm kind of looking at here is the following. Okay, Lee Sin does this. Okay, look where he goes. His body language suggests going down because he knows that Viego is going to think, oh, you went down, I'm going to go take your red. So the Lee Sin misdirected him by doing that, so he's going to cut in. The Viego isn't thinking that Lee Sin is capable of such things because of his play so far. In your diamond games, platinum games, gold games, they're not going to do this either, but you can, right? So basically, we see him do that. The Viego's going to go up, and that's why I pressed the vision toggle, because he could have easily been misdirecting, which he is. So it's a great play by the Lee Sin. And that's the Viego, Lee Sin, mind games, and we do die for it. So good job to Lee Sin for thinking a little bit. But he's still down now, 13 CS. We have shield bow completed. So let's see what this looks like. Okay. Let's see what this looks like at this point. Where are you, Diego? Okay, let's go. Let's see. 22 on the Gus Walker Hatchling, 23 for the Lee Sin. Headlands in a 2v1, and as all ADCs know, when you're in a 2v1 and your support is roaming, you must die. You must shove, take plates, and then die and lose all the power you just got. Remember that, okay? We don't want you ADCs to play safe, to play back, and to not die. Right? We want you to die for sure. Definitely don't like chill, back up, go back to base safely. You know, like this is way better totally. That's facetious, by the way, because honestly, honestly. Now the Viego sees that Karma and Galio are fisting the Talon. The Gangplank shows up level 5. We're going to show up here. Exquisite damage from the Noon Quiver base crit atomization. Obviously, you loot. That's pretty good. That was entertaining. That was entertaining. I was glad I got to watch that. That's a fun way to kill Blitzcrank and then do your camps. If you're looking for some, you know, what's life without whimsy? You know, do something funky every now and then to feel something as a jungler. I know we are used to the abuse, but if you do that every now and then, it puts a smile on your face. And you can say, hey, this cool moment happened. I feel stylish. And now obviously we know that Lee Sin should be thinking about the Herald, so we'll say, you know what, actually I don't want to give that to you. Zac does kill the Vlad top lane, so the Lee Sin's forced to disengage. Zac top lane, by the way, broken. Zac jungle. Zac support. Mid. Probably ADC, because Senna and Zac. So Zac broken. Although he's 1-1-1 and down 12 CS, but it doesn't matter, right? Anyone remember top lane SOAS, Zac top lane, like season 3, season 4? Yeah, good times. So we see and anticipate Lee Sin's probably doing this because in Korea, or at least in high elo, no one gives a shit about that first dragon at all anymore. So we'll collapse, take that objective, push him off, go back to this. Gold amount here is 4.2 to 5.3, 1.1k lead, huge. Because we do this and we know he took this after he killed us, we know he's going to go to the bottom side and probably look for this, and you know, whether he does these first or ganks this first, we don't know that as Viego just yet. So we ping it as Viego, as you can see. Okay, look, he hasn't shown up yet. So he must be doing those camps because he spawned, 20, 30, 40 seconds have gone by. He hasn't shown, therefore he's farming the camps and he'll show up afterwards. Viego goes to the mid lane because we know the RNG Jesus Scuttle Crab is there. We know the Talon is hard losing this game through a lot of his own mistakes early, but also good pressure by the Viego. We'll activate that to draw attention here. This will kill the turret, which is great. We'll go now venturing to see. Lee Sin, where are you, Lee Sin? I have shield bow. Let's see the damage. Good damage. Yes, we do have ult available as well. Taunt, oh my goodness gracious me. Talon, man. Slippery son of a bitch. Not quite enough. Not quite enough. Got 4 points in Q at this stage, 2 in E. We have here the Kai'Sa being killed in the turret. See, Caitlyn's work does give her the 5 plates, but she does die yet again. Viego says, yo, can I show up to this? I'm seeing a juicy Viego R here, but we don't have one, unfortunately, so we need to kill someone, if possible. Galio's going to ult in here for us. We do not have our W up until 1 second to go. Come on, can we get something? Yes, we can. There we go. I'm going to pick up the Lee Sin. We now have our ult gap closed. Can we ward hub Q? Yes, we can. And we can become the Lee Sin, take the Scuttle Crab, very nice, and then schlep on over to this here Dragon. The power you have from yanking mid lane at level 4, really insane when your mid laner is a roamer and so is theirs. We didn't fight the Lee Sin one-on-one, which meant the Talon didn't get a free kill. We then used that knowledge of Lee Sin going up and doing blue side quadrant to gank the mid lane freely. Nice. GG. Gallo can take over the game. It's not even Faker, by the way. It's just triple O. Yeah, Oscar Robertson. Triple doubling us with the kills, assists, not deaths though. And we just give him like 10 amazing shields or something. Because the deaths, you know, we don't really have rebounds. But if there were rebounds in League of Legends, Galio would do it. Knockups. There you go, knockups. That would be the equivalency. So here, could we? Sure. But Team Respawn come down. Us, no gold. Unfortunately, we didn't spend our bot lane topside. So we don't. We could go back to here, but that delays us. So we cut out the Krugs too far away. Basically, when you're like, hey, I want a vacation to Australia, and then you're like, oh, that's going to take 20 years to kind of fly to. No offense, Aussies. No offense. Just some South African, Australian, you know, Southern Hemisphere. We can do that. And so we cut the Raptors here, cut up here. Wolves. Normally we do Grump and maybe Shadow something here, but we see this wave. So we're like, you know, I'm not saying no to a wave. A wave. Lazy base. But we do have what now? 2,000? So it's not quite enough, but we can definitely get some Sheen Gaming. Plus Warhammer most likely. There we go. Don't need the Cloak of Agility is a bit weird. Like, you have to buy it. It's like, I don't want to buy it. Just like, honestly, delete it. Delete it and just make the total cost better. It just doesn't, just feels like an odd item, right? Just a weird item. I don't know. For me, I don't know why my brain thinks that. Now we're gonna go to base here, take the Grump cut in, play with this control ward, and you're gonna see the spike of Shiobo Essence plus half of IE. So we'll know exactly what you need at those levels to just smurf the game, because this is a good game. Like if you're a VIEGO jungle player, notice the difference. Boom! Notice the difference. Can we leverage this into a hook of destiny? Maybe we can. Oh no, we cannot. We see Lee Sin and Talon Goon squatting our Galio. That's my gargoyle, said Quasimodo. And well, he does die, but Karma and Viego like, yeah, hey. Oh, this is easy. Yeah. Oh my goodness, great. That kick is so obnoxiously annoying. Damn it! I don't have to flash. Thank you. The kick is so annoying. Like if there's one disengage ability in the entire game that's just like when it happens, you're like, oh my god, it's the Lee Sin kick, right? Am I wrong? Is there? It's more annoying than the puppy arm. Right? I feel like I can dodge the puppy arm. I see it coming. The Lee Sin's just like, I got you. I got instantaneously 2 leagues away. I'm lucky. He still dies though, which is great. So, as always, this is a good game. 12 out of 20 KP, 123 CS to 82. He is now level 9, the Lee Sin. We are 11, he is 9. New jungle. Less catch-up experience. Less kill experience. Is it huge? You know, on paper it can seem like it isn't, but I think in paper, to me, it looked like it was huge. Because very often, the junglers that would spam ganking would be 1 level behind the laners that they're killing and getting catch-up experience. Now they get 0 when they're 1 level behind. And I think that is big. It's less so when they're 2 levels behind, 3 levels behind, 4 levels behind. Obviously, you need to get something to remain relevant. All of us who played the game the Dark Ages, Boomer Central, know that when there's no catch-up experience, you could be level 2 at 6-7 minutes, enemy jungle's level 8. Like, and all that happened was you got cheesed at red level 2. And there was nothing you could do about it because we didn't have trinkets. We didn't have ward control. We just died to the Shaco, to the Lee Sin. So you need those mechanics, but they need to be the right amount and it needs to make sense. Currently, it has not, or at least this season, it has not made sense. Too much. Now, though, I think it's gonna definitely, you know, if you're doing what the Lee Sin did versus what the VIEGO did, which is the VIEGO is how I recommend you jungle. You know, do your 5-6 camper, but be ready to cut and react. When randomness happens, cool, I can fall back and I can use that advantage to get more kills myself, translate to rotations, cool. And I can do a second sequence, full. Counter gank and anticipated gank based upon tracking and tendencies, great. Then I can snowball, right? That's exactly what you want to do in the first 2-3 rotations. And the snowball takes the form of quadrant ganking or ganking in your quadrant, stacking an objective, getting here, going for the dive. Hey, you're on the herald, I'm gonna kill you. Like when you're ahead like that, you can do so much confidence-wise. Because you're not afraid, Lee Sin's on the herald and he's level 12 and I'm level 11 and I just sound like Christopher Walken. But actually, that's not bad. But then, you know, you're too afraid to go for it. But now you have the lead and you see the Lee Sin on it, you're like, you don't care, I'm just gonna walk over and kill you, you know? Important to know when you're snowballing that those things do matter. Now, we are doing what we call the swoop method here, whereby we do this, we ward, we cut across the river, we ward, we look to get plays into their jungle. We're not farming, we're sitting with our team, we're present with our team. Nice ult over the wall by the VIEGO. Beautiful ult into the smite into that kill. And then we become the Talon, which means we can chase down, we got the slow and the W, we got the ult over the wall, we are able to kill the Blitzcrank. But then we have time to become the Blitzcrank though, so maybe we can use that to go bottom lane. Lee Sin survives, unfortunately. Zach is rotating 4-1-1 now. Hard still Spectre's Cal on the Vladimir. I mean, here we go over the wall. Oh, flash burn guaranteed. With the turret. We do have the Essence Reaver, by the way, so we're watching this. All of this now is with the Essence Reaver. No bonus stats just yet, but the shield bow. Oh, there are stats, but because of the way it works. Can we fix this, please? Any riders who watch this? I love, the audience loves watching VIEGO. And I love looking at the data from the numbers. And every time he swaps forms, it goes to 0. Now, I can't tell what's happened to it. Like, it says damage block 0. You guys can't see it, but it says damage block 0. I would like to see what that actually is. Maybe August can think of something. You know, where we can keep that number what it's meant to be and not reset every time he takes a soul. Although thematically, I get it. Get it. Okay, now we've gone into the BF sword. So this would be your, for context, your 10,000 gold power spike in 20 minutes. It's huge. It's strong. It's a W. It's a dead guy. Q autos. auto Qs, and that's all you really need. And then Rs, obviously, the W kind of lead in with. And now we're going over the wall here. We see at least, can we use a hook, flash hook, bonk. There we go. Flash hook, bonk. That was a kick. It just hit us in a weird way. Animation sometimes a bit strange. Unlucky. Again, the kick, man. So strong. 12-2-4. Exactly pushing on the Vladimir, and you see the power that your solo laners can have when you just don't let a jungler interact. A lot of times your laners are down in a matchup they're meant to be down in, and a jungler shows up and makes it worse, and now they can never get back into it. If they're down in a matchup they're meant to be down in, range versus melee a lot of the time, and you just make sure the enemy Lee Sin doesn't show up, and I remove him from the game and give my top laner dragons and heralds and Nile, he can get back into the game and then take over. And obviously now we can take this El Baron, and he's doing a good job. And in the case where he does win, I can snowball that versus enemy jungler shutting him down. And basically, the enemy team says, we agree, and Viego's too strong, and this build is good, and Lee Sin is ganking like it's patch 13.3, and Viego's like it's 13.4. Change the way you play the game. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned something this one. It was fun to talk about. Let me know how you like this build. I think this has definitely got a lot of power to it if you want to go crit versus if you wanted to go crack and blade IE. I think this makes a lot of sense, hopefully for the reasons you understood. And as always, don't forget to head to Zara.gg for the Viego guides, for all other kinds of live guides, Virkayu.gg for coaching, and for, of course, the different level courses. And I will be putting this build into Viego's Zara.gg guide immediately this weekend. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial or the next voice box.